So far, you've learned how to annotate model outputs, identify failure modes, build evaluations, and iterate on prompts. These skills help you improve an AI system. But once you start making changes regularly, a new problem appears. This is perhaps the most common issue in real AI systems. How do you make sure new improvements do not break behavior that already worked? The solution is dataset curation and regression testing. This is all built around what we call a golden dataset. A golden dataset, for our purposes, is a curated set of examples that represent behavior that you care about preserving. It includes inputs you know are important, outputs you consider correct or acceptable, and scenarios that must continue to work over time. You can think of it as your cornerstone for correctness. As an AI PM, you own and curate this dataset. By defining it, you are explicitly saying, for these cases, this is what good behavior looks like. A well-constructed golden dataset usually includes critical user flows, edge cases, examples that previously failed in production, and high-impact or high-risk scenarios. For each example, you define or curate from logs, the input, and the expected behavior or outcome. These are cases where you already know what should happen. In practice, a golden dataset is small, usually dozens of examples, high signal, carefully selected, and finally versioned and updated over time. The goal is not coverage of everything, but protection of what matters most. Once you have a golden dataset, the workflow is straightforward. You run your current prompt against the golden dataset, you record the evaluation results as your baseline, you make a change such as updating the prompt, switching models, modifying agent logic, or adjusting tool usage. Before shipping, we run the same golden dataset again, and we compare the results to the baseline. The key question is not, did the average score improve, but rather, did any known good behavior break? That comparison is regression testing. Golden datasets change how teams work. With them, every change is detected against known behavior, reliability improves over time instead of drifting, and iteration becomes controlled rather than ad hoc. This is the marked shift from informal prompt tweaking to treating AI as a product with quality standards. However, there's an important nuance for LLM-based systems. Regression testing for LLMs is not about exact output matches. LLMs are probabilistic, so evaluation needs to account for that. Regression signals may include drops in accuracy, increases in hallucinations, more safety or policy violations, and higher latency or cost. Evaluation methods often involve semantic similarity checks, rule-based or heuristic metrics, and LLM-based judges. In this context, regression means statistical degradation, not identical outputs. You do not need a perfect golden dataset on day one. A good time to start is when you have real users, you have observed repeated failures, and certain behaviors start to matter consistently. A useful rule of thumb is, if something breaks in production, add it to the golden dataset. Over time, this dataset becomes one of your most valuable assets. You can also add especially good assistant outputs to preserve desirable behavior. So finally, golden datasets allow you to iterate safely, improve without losing trust, and ship changes with confidence. This is quality control for AI systems adapted to probabilistic models.
All right, so now let's get into creating our golden dataset. So to get started, what you need to do is go over here to traces. Now, when we're working on our golden dataset, we need to select the traces that we think are exceptionally good. And this is a process of curation that does take time. But right now, we'll show you the basic processes that you need to know technically to be able to start building this golden dataset, okay? So how do we do this? So firstly, we need logs that are good. In the last video, we handled that by running an experiment and seeing that our prompt was performing quite well. So let's start looking into our logs. So here we have successful, we have category and response. I like these tags as well. If you would notice, we didn't specify the tags in our prompt. So I would say I like actually these category and response tags. So I'm going to keep those. And that was successful. And the response, let's read it. Thank you for reaching out. It sounds like the app is displaying incorrect festival dates, which can be a technical error, blah, blah. So this looks like quite a good response. So to add it to our data set, what we're going to do is go over here and click select. And then you'll see this pop up here where we can add a span to a data set. So now what we need to do is actually continue doing this and add more prompts. So let's select 2 or 3 more, and then we're going to add those to a data set. Here we have another one. We have my wristband don't scan at the entrance. We have a successful tool call. And then we have technical issue category. All right, I think I'm good with this one as well. So we have category and response as the keys, so we can select that as well. Now let's look at one more. Here we have the successful tool call, like we said. I was billed for VIP but received a general admission ticket. Billing issue. Thanks for reaching out. It appears you've billed for a ticket but received a general admission ticket instead. We understand this concerning. Please provide us with the transaction details. This looks good as well. So let's go over here and select it as well. Now, what we're going to do is add these spans to a data set. Okay. Now, here you'll be brought to a page where you can do this. So actually, we already have a data set prepared. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how you would add it to a new data set. But in the case that you didn't, you could go here and make a new data set. So we're going to go to existing data set, and here we'll select our golden data set. So here we have golden data set. And now when we hit add to data set, all those logs will be added to our golden data set. Awesome. And now you would go off and you would finish curating your golden data set. All right. Now, when you have a preliminary golden data set, what you can do is we can go in and we can start regression testing. So how does regression testing work? So regression testing is actually very similar to what we did before with comparing our prompts. However, this is going to be following you throughout every version of the prompt, okay? So we're going to go to experiments and hit run experiment. And let's give this experiment a name. We'll say regression test number 1. Okay? And then we would go in here and we would select our evaluations. Okay? And then go in here and select our golden data set. All right? Now let's run our experiment. So we've ran our experiment, and you can see here that we have an average of 91% and with 42 good results. All right. So in the future, we're going to be able to take the same data set and run it against a future version of the prompt. And we're going to be able to see with the same metrics as before if it's improved or if it's gotten worse. All right? So thanks for watching and have fun improving your prompts.